Well, she's a young dog. She's about 11 months. I got her from a rescue place. She's a wild child. All she knows is sit, but I'd like her to know down and stay and working with dog socialization if needed, and just make her less bossy to me. And,
so right now she has no downstay. She probably knows what sit means, but she won't stay there, and she doesn't do everything the first time you say it at all. And also you need a come command. You need a really good recall, right?
Right.
Yeah, you want her to come right to you. And
I've been working with that. She does it, but unless she's distracted.
Right. So
and she's excitable.
You need her to have a much higher level of come, so she does it no matter what, every time.
Right.
The first time you say it. Okay.
Yep.
Great. Thanks. We're going to go inside the house. She's been out in the yard for a while. Sit. Always do that. If you want to get her next to you, you can just reset her by doing that circle, stepping into her. There's some little crumbs of treats on the ground. That's what she's looking at. So I always have her sit. I step through first. You want to accentuate the fact that this is your boundary, not hers anymore. She doesn't rush through it, chase you through it. She only goes through with your permission. It develops a higher level of focus in the dog. So if I wasn't talking to you, it'd already be in there already. It takes like an extra 3 or 4 seconds. But you just have her wait at every boundary like that. Okay. And then say, okay. She walks through with you without pulling. I'm going to come out the same way and show you how we do that. Always close the door first. Sit. Always have them sit before, always have her sit before you open the door, because it's harder that way, because a lot of dogs tend to pop up as you open the door. So teach her to stay seated. You're just using another distraction to make her better. Okay, we got some other dogs in here, which is yet another distraction, but she's staying calm. See how I stepped through first? I stepped back. She waited till I came back next to her. I said, okay. She walked through with me, and on the outside, sit. If I was going to release her in the yard, I'd say, make sure she waits. She still has that anticipation sometimes, so make sure she really waits. Pat her chest, say, go. And she's free. Go now. And then you'd unhook her leash and she could have some free time outside. Sit. We are coming out for a walk now. Okay, we have 2 gates. Sit. We have a double gate here. So I had her sit at both. This is a second one. This is the most important one because this is the one that leads out on the street. She very often is excited to be here. She wants to start her walk, but we've taught her she has to sit at the front door, walk through the yard. She sits at both these gates. She waits. I cross through both boundaries first. She waits. Okay, I say okay. Come on, okay. She walks with me. She's almost too good sometimes now. She's got a great sit-stay at boundaries. And of course, when we first got her, she would just be pulling and rushing and pulling through and just, really excited out here because she loves her walks. But if you start the walk, as soon as you put that leash on the inside of your front door, and that's when the training starts. You do the training on the way out to the walk so that when you get here, she's in the zone and she's already calm and she's been training for 2 or 3 minutes already. Then you release her and you have a calm walk instead of letting her drag you out, being all excited. And usually people say, let's go for a walk. Come on, you want to go for a walk? And she sees the leash and goes nuts. You get out on the street and try to do training. It's way too late. She's just in like this hyper overstimulated state of mind. So you want to start the training on the way in, and then when you get out here, you release her. But we're still even going to do more. Come. You call her to come to me. Good. I would usually come out of that gate still in training mode. You're going to have to back up there. Over there. And have her sit here at the curb, because the curb is a very important boundary, of course. So I practice curbs like I would practice any boundary, like the front door, because wouldn't you want her at some point to come to a curb and realize that at a curb she waits for you as well? She just never crosses over unless she has your permission and she crosses with you. So if you're to do this for a few months, that's hundreds of times that you do this, you're pretty close, and she may even now, after just 3 weeks of training, be kind of hesitant to run across the street, which is everybody's worst nightmare, right? With a dog that's loose. God forbid she ever gets loose out there. So it's also a great little training exercise. You see how calm she is at a curb? Hey, why not do it? This would just take you an extra 5 seconds and then you move on. We're waiting for a car to get out of that driveway so we can go across the street. Okay, and then you cross the street in training mode, and I'm just doing two-handed little taps like this. I'm walking super slow just to show you. My arm is not feeling right today, so I'm just using this, my right hand as well. But it's really just about walking slow and doing little taps. It's all about the little tap. If you do continuous tension, or like this, she's gonna pull more. Okay, so she's very sensitive to your, let's get out of the way of that, whatever that is. She's very sensitive to sit, what you do with the leash. So don't be struggling and forcing her to do anything, because it's just gonna make her worse. Do those little taps. And if your body is moving slower, she will move slow. So you have to slow everything down and do your little taps if you ever want her to slow down and be calmer. So it's really all of this stuff. Everything on this video and handling dogs in general is all about the person handling the dog. She's only going to be as calm and as centered and focused as the person handling the dog. So it's really something to practice. The better you get at doing my moves, the better she's going to be with you. So we did the front door, we did the gateways, we did the curb, we did here. It usually takes me 2 minutes to do that when I'm not being filmed. If she pops up, nope. Do a little reset and gently but firmly put her back. She's wondering why I'm making her stay in a sit stay for so long. Because usually 2 minutes we're out here, have her sit here, and then go. She's free and we start her walk. But we get to start the walk with a really calm, easy to handle dog because of just the structure that I implemented from the inside of my front door out here across the street. 2 minutes. And that's a whole training routine just to get out on the walk. Once again, you're handling her in a situation where she normally would be, and most dogs would be, really overstimulated. So it's not about the amount of time that you spend now with training, it's about when you do it and where you do it. Dogs behave situationally, so once she has her sit stays, down stays, recalls down, which she does, you put them into practice immediately. You practice them in the situations where they'll be the most excited. Doorways, curbs, beginnings of walks, all that kind of stuff. So you don't spend much time at all with your training because it's about the quality as opposed to the amount of time now. It's where you do it that matters and how you do it. Okay, let's go. Sit. We are going to practice our little commands here out in public where there's a lot going on. Pan to your left, and well, there's not that many people there. A bunch of people just left, but there will be people walking past. So you saw that I said the command, and then I don't know if you even noticed, but I just applied a little bit of pressure because she kind of hesitated. I didn't pop, jerk, or hang. It was just sit, and then she didn't do it. Actually, okay, this is the way I want you to do it for the first few days because she's not going to be knowing how to do it with you yet. Sit. And see how gentle that is, but it's firm. It's just a little bit of tension, her butt hits the ground, and you release it. It's much better than doing sit, she ignores you, and then you reinforce it. Because you can get stuck in that pattern for a while, forever, where she ignores you and then you make her go there. So do it all simultaneously. If you do it that way, probably in just a couple of days, as she gets comfortable with doing this with you, you won't have to do it at all. But that's the way to get past that point to the next step up where she's much better at doing the command. You never repeat the command. You're going to reinforce the command after the first time you said it, or as you say it. You never repeat it. You even say it twice, and it dilutes the power of the command. So everything is always done on the first time you say it. That's why, as time goes on, she's going to do everything the first time you say it. We don't say stay anymore. So stay is built into the sit, obviously. I just practiced having her sit there and releasing her. I started with 5 seconds and worked up to 20 seconds and then a minute. So that's how we did That's how we taught the sit. And she's waiting to be released. If she gets up, you're going to say no, and because she's not making a mistake, and just gently but firmly reinforce that. And she goes back, just like the way you saw me put her there in the first place. Go back, finish your sit stay. When she does it correctly, go back next to her. Nope. See how she just started to get up? Go back next to her. Eye contact, straight down. Good. She's literally looking at me in the eyes as I give her the reward. Don't do this. The hand comes out of nowhere, somehow sort of attached to you. It's just not a clear, nope. See how she got up? Now I get to reset her, do that little reset, gently but firmly put her back. Eye contact, you're standing next to her like this. You don't have to bend over. It's just straight up like this. Put this by your eyes so she's looking at you in the eyes. Good. As you reward her, she's looking at you in the eyes and you say good at the same moment. That's the best way to reward her. And then to release her to be free, make sure she doesn't touch your hand or mess with your hand with her paw or anything. No. And remember, she's out in public and there's a lot going on here, so this is hard for her to focus, but she's doing it. No. Make sure she really waits until you actually pat her chest. Go. And she's free. If you do that, the goal is, with all this training, that the byproduct of the training is a calmer dog. Every time that you release her in a calm manner, she's a little bit better. So you don't want to have this great sit stay or down stay and everything's great and then you go, okay, and everybody jumps up and she's all crazy. You've destroyed that very fragile calmness that you want to grow in strength and take over her whole being by how you release them, by how you release her. Come! Calling her away from good, somebody that's coming. So that was a little bit of a demonstration of come, which we'll cover later on. Let's go somewhere else. Okay. Ready? Yep. Now we're going to do something really hard for her. We're going to practice down, and we have just pan to your left to show the lady that's talking to us. So she was talking to us, and Roxy's like, oh, a new friend. You know, she loves people. So I'd said down. She was on her way over to say hi to the lady, but all I did was I reinforced it like that. Because when you say down, it means down. I don't care what else is going on. And the down stay has to hold also. And you notice we don't say stay. Down means to stay. So I'm just doing a basic down stay where she stays there, and pan to your right to show all the other stuff that's going on here. And we're right by the front door. People are coming in. And then go back to Roxy now.
3 seconds.
Hi. Oh, we have a card coming. This is going to be tough. Good. So if you want to desensitize her to distractions, see them coming, I almost missed that one, get down there with a little reward. If she gets the reward before it comes upon her, it will enable her to stay calm, to put up with it. And you only have to do that for a little while, and then you won't need the food for that, whatever that distraction is, and then you can work on the next distraction. So there's a very clear way. We have another one coming this way to desensitize her to whatever distraction she has, people walking past, carts, whatever. And it's so easy to do with food, but it's all about timing. Give her the reward before the distraction shows up. She's got her mouth full and she's in, oh, this tastes good mode when she realizes it's there, and it keeps her at a calm level so she doesn't react and break out of her downstay. And that's one of the things and one of the ways we develop a really solid downstay, by desensitizing her with food in that way around ever increasing levels of distractions. And this is pretty high. We got carts coming towards us. See how she looked at me? Good. That cart was like, she didn't know that cart wasn't coming right at her. She still didn't pop up. So you already see the results of the way I was doing it. She saw it and she still didn't pop up, but I rewarded her for that. So that even that made her better. So if she ever gets up out of a downstay, you say no, and just with your left foot gently but firmly put her back. You don't have to point, snap your fingers, do anything. Don't ever say the command twice. I've only said DOWN one time. That first command needs to hold for 5 minutes if need be. Set the bar really high. Good. So she's so much better already with just carts going past. And that's kind of big, like a lot of dogs would pop up. So she's doing really well. Never repeat the command. If she makes a mistake, say no and put her back. She needs to know that if you say down, she might be there for a few minutes, and that first time you said it meant it. Stay is built into down, so we don't say stay. She just knows when you say down, it means to stay. So less is more. Less talking, less hand signals, no funny noises, all that kind of stuff. It's just really streamlined, but that's why she can learn it at a deep level. Good. So she's doing so well. Also, when you're practicing like this, always end on a success. End it while she's doing really well. She'll remember how it ended, and tomorrow she'll be a little bit better. Don't do too much where she starts making mistakes, because then you kind of blown it and you can't end on a mistake. So always end on a success. It's okay. You can best. We're not even here. She's waiting for you to come back next to her. Say, okay. And then sit. Always release her from a sit, stay out of a down. Because if you release her out of a down, she's going to pop up and get all excited, and you're going to destroy that fragile calmness that we're trying to develop in her. So it's okay. She stands up. You say sit. So much easier to reinforce a calm sit, stay. Nope. Reinforce a calm release from a sit, stay. Go. Just like that. It's okay. Camera.
Can I set her now?
Oh, I'm sorry. You've been waiting all this time?
Yes.
So we're having her sit. We're stepping over. We're giving this nice lady a little reward. When she comes over, give it to her, okay? And then, wow, everything's starting to happen, but this is good. This is real life, right? Okay, go say hi. Give her the treat.
Hi.
Look, and pet her. You can pet her. Good girl. Then I'm going to say, come. Call her to me. Good girl. We're just going to do it again. Sit. One more treat, because that's really all I have is one more treat. No, you have to sit and wait. There you go. Go say hi.
Hello. Yay.
And she's not jumping on the person.
No, she stopped over that. She stopped over that.
Good.
In the beginning.
Yeah, you saw her a couple weeks ago and she was jumping like crazy.
Nope.
She wants to.
Very
There you go.
no.
Yeah, the jumping's way less frequent than before. Good. If she thinks she might want to jump, she comes back over to me. I'm there to reward that. Everything good happens down there where she's on all fours. That way she stops jumping. She tends to be just on all fours all the time. If she ever comes up to you, make sure that you're down there, because she had such a problem with jumping, that you get down there and you pet her. You love her up. You got a treat. Give her a treat for walking up to you and not jumping on you. And she'll do more of this and less of the other. She jumps on you, it's nope. Don't touch her, don't correct her, don't talk to her. Grab the leash or get the leash handy, step into her, sit, call her to come if she's acting inappropriate in any way, get her into sit mode or a downstay, have her work for you. That's the antidote for getting rid of inappropriate behaviors. Don't correct them, because she'll love the correcting, because it's a game. It's attention for those behaviors. Call her out of those, give them no attention. Make sure you do the training, and that will make them go away gradually. Okay, thank you.